place is not second to anyone in the country, and it's the fourth school that I've worked at in the SEC. Having played at Oklahoma, this thing is unbelievable. It's an easy sell. I think when we get kids on campus here and they can see the facility, they can see the support, they can see the desire that our fans have, it's hard to tell us no. I think we're going to continue to get better and better and better. Players in here, we're going to develop them, we're going to treat them right, and I think we're going to get this thing rolling faster than people give us credit for. Thank you. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Oh, there you go. Hey, sorry, good to meet you. Yes, sir.
Sam, there aren't a whole lot of offensive line coaches to get head coaching jobs. How cool is that as an assistant line coach? How cool is Sam is this summer?
Well, it's cool because really he's the right person for it, and it's so neat when you see good things happen to good people. You know what I mean? Coach Pittman has earned the right to be here, and it's for no other reason than how he's treated people along the way. How he made people feel, his ability to attract people to want to be around him. He's got an infectious personality. He's probably the most genuine human being I've ever been around, particularly in this profession. He's a man's man. He doesn't have an ego. He's not going to walk around with his nose in the clouds. He wants to roll his sleeves up and go to work. He cares about each and every person that's in this building, from the All-American senior to the walk-on freshman, the custodian, the people that fix our kids breakfast in the morning. He treats them all with respect, and that's what he demands of his assistant coaches. And it's an unbelievable.
Welcome in. It's our Friday edition of On the Hill, Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479. And we let you hear audio from offensive line coach Brad Davis from a sit-down we had several months ago. Like we always try to fill you in and just keep you up to date with what's going on the Hill as far as Arkansas athletics. And we're joined by one of our special sponsors that make this show possible. We're joined by the owner of what you hear me talk about all the time. It's located down at KDK's Chicken 989. The owner, Keith Kidd. Keith, welcome in, my man.
Pat, how you doing, man?
Doing really good. How's things going down there at 989 South Razorback Road? You guys got to play the love. I always tell them it's the best chicken and waffles in the South. But tell the listeners here live, Keith, while we have the man with the plan and the food, what are some of the specials that they can come down and be a part of?
Pat, we got this new deal called the Loaded Waffle Fries, and man, we selling about 20 of those a day. Everybody love those. The Loaded Waffle Fries. We got the mac and cheese waffle cone, where you can get the waffle cone with chicken and mac and cheese. And we got our regular tenders, and we got our okra. We just got some things, man, that I think people will love. They just need to come down and see us.
See, somebody tells me here in the studio about the fried okra. What's in that love that just, the mac and cheese? You even got that. And some people don't know, Keith, you guys sell peach cobbler too, don't you?
Homemade peach cobbler, man. You know what? We're just trying to give people some love that, a lot of people are not doing around here, something different. We just kind of want to be different, man, and just give people something that they can come down and enjoy.
Well, man, thanks for taking time out with us. As you all know, Keith and KDK's Chicken is a sponsor of On the Hill Sports Talk. I'm telling you, meet me there or beat me there down at KDK's Chicken. Go get some of that love. And, we always say it's the best chicken and waffles in the South. But, Keith, hey, I'm going to be down there soon, my man. And hopefully I can bring a whole bunch of people with me.
Pat, come down and see us, and we'll take care of you.
All right. Have a blessed one, my brother.
Okay, take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Keith, the man himself spoke. KDK's owner, Keith Kidd, the lead sponsor. You had some different chicken a couple of days ago that you brought in here, and it really caught my eye. What was that?
Yeah, they got the new honey mustard, the new honey mustard chicken. I'm really liking it right now. I'm a big fan of the barbecue bone in, but
okra guy, ain't
you? Yeah. Oh, I love the okra. That's all I get. I used to
scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, 10.
Y'all hear that, listeners?
10. That okra, I'm telling you, that okra fire.
Oh,
if you like fried okra, go down to KDK's. Oh, and the boudin balls. If you like boudin, I'm a Louisiana boy.
I die for boudin balls. But hey, we're getting ready to get this thing started on our Friday edition of OTH, and the Hall guys continue on with our Friday segment as we're going to make our way. Our first guest will be joining us, 2021
Sure. You know, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak to the talent if there's a deficit or, you know what I mean. I do know that the run game is a pretty intricate piece, particularly running the football in the SEC. It's hard to do, and I don't care where you are. You know, this is, you know, where elite players come to play, is in the SEC. I'm excited about the running backs that we do have. I know that I have seen in my time in this league plays that have been blocked well, and a guy gets a gain of 2 or 3. The safety makes a tackle, and I'm on the sideline beating my chest thinking we've done a hell of a job blocking it up to a safety. I've seen times we ain't blocked a soul and the running back take off and go for 60, and he broke 3 tackles. You know what I mean? And so it really kind of works like a hand in glove. I think that the better the guys behind us are, the better we're going to look. Our job up front will be to be fundamentally sound, to play really, really, really hard, and to really take ownership in the run game. That's something to me, you know, where I think that we can take the next step is our guys buying into running the football and really wanting to take over football games and impact games by running it. Sure. Well, it's going to be huge, you know. I think the quarterback position, I mean, you know, the SEC is a quarterback-driven league, in my opinion, you know. And so with us having Felipe behind us, you know, having signed, you know, Malik, and then, you know, there's several guys here obviously on our roster, KJ, you know, that we've got to do an unbelievable job of giving them state of mind to stand back there and throw accurate footballs. You know what I mean? And
welcome back to our Friday edition of On the Hill Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479 as we come to you each and every weekday, Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. And we want to continue on. We started this Hall Guy segment several weeks ago, and it's just continued to build and build as Arkansas and Coach Sam Pittman and that Razorback football staff are starting to put the brand out about the Arkansas Razorback program. So we thought we'd head on down to Rockdale, Texas to catch up with another major prospect. I mean, this guy can flat out play. 4-star running back, Camron Valdez. CB, welcome to OTH.
What's going on?
What's going on, Cam? Let's talk about your recruiting heading into your senior year, Cam. It's starting to pick up. Arkansas came in with an offer a little while back. Been showing you a lot of interest. Talk about how the relationship with Arkansas is going, and in particular, running backs coach Jimmy Smith, who I believe you speak with quite often.
The relationship's new. I met him like 2-3 months ago. It's going well. Like the whole coaching staff, they all good. Coach Step, Coach Pittman, all them dudes good guys. It's going really well.
What has Coach Pittman, the new head football coach here at Arkansas, what has he said, Camron, as to how you would fit in and how you'd be used if you chose Arkansas here in the coming months?
They would use my speed in their offense.
Now, what are you feeling good about, Camron, heading into your senior year? I know you went for half a mile in yardage last year. I mean, I watched a lot of tape. You know, what's the one thing you're really excited about, and what have you been trying to work on to make better for that final year of Texas high school football?
I would like to work on my patience in the holes. That's all, really.
Now, I know you're getting heavily recruited. Who are some of the other schools, Camron, that's showing you, as we say on social media in the Twitter world, the love? I mean, who are the schools recruiting you the hardest at this time?
What did you say?
Who are some of the schools recruiting you the hardest outside of Arkansas at this time, Cam?
Probably Arizona State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Purdue.
Now, what are some of the things that you're going to be looking for, Camron, when you pick your school of choice? What's the one thing that you're looking for to put one school over all the others?
What did you say?
What's the one thing that you're going to be looking for to make one school top all the others? I mean, what's that one particular thing that the Valdez family, in particular Camron, will be looking for?
Let's go that we feel that will be the best opportunity for me academically.
Now, is Is it hard, Cameron, to go out each and every Friday night, Texas high school football, playing in the area that you play in, being a marked man? How do you deal with that each and every week, knowing that when teams prepare, they're preparing to stop you first and foremost?
It's something I got used to. And my coaches, we change our game plan every other week. So you want to throw the same looks out there. So they won't get used to what we're doing.
Talk about how Texas high school football is going to prepare you for the next level. How does that help? You face college D1 players week in, week out. How will that prepare you, Cameron, for when you get to collegiate football?
Well, it'll prepare you very well. It'll help me mature. I don't know how to feel, help me get used to competition.
Now, are you planning to sign early in the early period, Cameron, or are you planning on just waiting and signing that first Wednesday in February of 21?
I'm not sure yet. I think late as of now.
Now, when I'm at Rockdale High School and I'm going to be a scout, I got to come scout Cameron Valdez. When I leave the stadium after 4 quarters, what will that scouting report say about Cameron Valdez, the football player?
A quiet dude. I mean, not anymore. Wait, what do you mean scouting report?
What will it say? I mean, what type of football player will I see for 4 quarters in Cameron Valdez?
Oh, passionate, never giving up. Passionate, never giving up.
Now, we're having a little fun. We're going to have a little fun with you right now, Cam. And I hope you got your playlist ready because we riding around Rockdale, Texas, you and myself. You with the OG. What are the first 5 songs in Club Valdez, Cameron, that you're going to play for me on your playlist?
Probably that new little baby. First song would probably Social Distancing.
I like that one.
My little baby.
Number 2?
Then One of Mine by Future.
3?
And then The Greatest by Rod Wave.
Okay. 2 more.
Then Grace by Lil Baby and
Last
All
one.
In.
Oh, well, I like that, man. I can vibe with you. Well, Cameron, I want to thank you for taking time out here on the Hill today. I know you got a busy schedule, but one last question, and I want you to finish the statement if you would. When football is done with, you played your collegiate ball, played professionally if you're blessed, and you've hung up the cleats and the pads, and now it's time to do the second phase of your life. What will Cameron Valdez be doing with life after football?
I'm trying to be, I like to have my own business in the future. Run the business of myself.
Well, Cameron, I loved having you on, man. Hey, let's not make this the last time you join us. Let's do a little Cameron Valdez updates throughout the football season. You think you'd be up for that?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cam. Well, hey, you have a great senior year, but also, too, you have a blessed weekend, and thanks for taking time out here with us on OTH today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That was 2021 running back out of Rockdale High School in Rockdale, Texas, Cameron Valdez. Mr. Kuiper, what'd you see from the running back down in Rockdale?
Just a lot of speed. I think you hit it on the head. Great footwork. There was a couple of times where he definitely should have been down, but had the agility and the body awareness and body control to really keep his hips up and keep his head up and really keep moving. So I think when you have that, he reminds me a lot of Joe Adams. I think he was a little bigger than Joe Adams, but as far as like his footwork and his ability to make plays in open space, it really reminds me of Joe Adams. But he has a little bit more elusiveness and top end speed than Joe.
When you look at these running backs, Demetrius, you look at Javian Hunt, whom Arkansas had just had commit to him, and then you look at your guy that you really like is Josh
McCray out of Enterprise.
Josh McCray out of Enterprise. We've had Tavier Dunlap, another running back in the 2021 class, join us. And then, when you look at Camron, I mean, 3 guys, because they're going to sign one of those 3. Out of the ones that you've seen, who fits what Arkansas is going to try to do, in your opinion, the best?
Honestly, I think all of them fit.
Right.
When you look at a coach like Coach Smith, the running backs coach, he knows what Arkansas needs, and I think when you're playing in the SEC, you can't have one style of back. You have to have a change of pace base. You need a change of pace back. You need that bruiser that's going to get you those tough yards when you get in on the line, and then you're going to just need that home run hitter that can make something out of nothing. And I think when you look across the great teams that they always had, that you look across when Alabama was most dominant. They always had 3, sometimes even 4 running backs in their stable that they could play any given game that could amount for 100 to 200 yards on you. So I think when you look at that, you have to have that ability in the SEC to really be a dominant factor when it comes into these games on Saturday.
I mean, and it's just going to continue on. I mean, as Otis Kirk has said it, and we've said it multiple times here on OTH, is that just the type of kid, the type of player, and the type of character that is being recruited. And we don't mean to, bash the type of character or player that Coach Brett Bielema or Chad Morris were able to bring to the University of Arkansas. It's just that it's clear the physical difference, either in size or speed, is quite obvious, Demetrius, in the kids that Sam Pittman and this staff.
I'll even go beyond like physical speed and physical attributes as far as height, size, weight. When you look at the programs, a lot of these kids are coming out. They're coming out of highly touted high schools. That's used to producing NFL caliber, if not NFL caliber, at least D1 prospects.
Right.
It's really different. A lot of people don't understand how the programs that these kids come out of makes a big difference to how fast they can really get out on the field, and especially the SEC, but college football. If you're not coming from one of these top tier high school footballs, playing the top blue chip schools in your high school, it's going to be really, really, really hard to adapt to the SEC. And I think Sam Pittman really understands that. And I think that's one of those elements when he says you have to understand the SEC. You can't go get the average kid. You have to go get an above average kid and have coaching that's way above the average coaching to really get these kids able to play and really excel in the SEC.
Talking about top programs and elite programs, Demetrius just mentioned and hit it on the head. Arkansas just got a commitment at one of the elite programs in the state of Oklahoma, Booker T. Washington. They got Kawan Parker, and they're back at that high school again, looking for someone in the 2022 class that they feel could make a difference going forward for Coach Sam Pittman, Barry Odom, and that staff. Gentry Williams, he's going to be the next guest up, and he's out of Booker T. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll let you hear more Brad Davis, and then we'll be back. It's On the Hill, and it's the Hall Guy segment on KDSJ 479. Back in a bit.
I feel great about them. I believe that they're talented. I think that they are, have an opportunity to be high-level SEC football players. But my biggest focus right now are the guys that are in the building right now. Now that recruiting has ended, my job right now is to roll my sleeves up and build strong relationships with the guys that are here now. I can't wait to get to work with them and allow them to see who I am, my personality, my expectation for these guys. It's the biggest piece for me right now. The recruiting piece is great. Those guys got to graduate and go to prom, do all that stuff. The guys that are here now are the ones I'm counting on to help us this fall.
I think think there's 7 or so guys that actually started a game in Arkansas. I mean, how big is that? Have you had a chance to watch them on tape or anything like
Briefly,
that?
briefly. I promised those guys when I met them back in December, I did not want to have any preconceived notions or ideas about who was a starter, who was a contributor. I want the guys to just go to work, and I want them to earn whatever role that they earn this fall. And so I spent very little time dwelling on the past and what's happened here. It's of very little interest to me. I really just want to build, I want to teach, I want to grow a culture in our room. It's the biggest piece right now to me.
I know offensive line has been kind of an area of struggle the last couple of years in Arkansas. The fans are always talking about offensive line. I mean, have you kind of heard that a little bit? Is it a little bit unusual to have so many fans talking about the offensive line?
No, absolutely not unusual. It's just the nature of the deal, man. I mean, look, the reality of it is, it's a great responsibility. Nothing good happens, without the offensive line going out and executing at a high level. And so our players have to acknowledge that and accept it and push through it, you know what I mean? But by how we go out and prepare and get ourselves ready to go compete at a high level. So, no, the expectation level is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. The criticism is not something I'm unfamiliar with. I understand that if we don't play well, we're going to hear about it. You know what I mean? I fully anticipate it, but I also came here to kick ass, and so I'm not afraid of running from anybody. You bet. Yes, sir, Brad. Good to see you, man. Pleasure. You bet, brother. Hey.
Welcome back. We're momentarily trying to reach out and make a connection with 2022 safety prospect out of Booker T. Washington, Gentry Williams out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll try to momentarily have him on, but I want to go back over to my producer and co-host, Demetrius. It comes out today, I think the commissioners and all the SEC SIDs or ADs will meet here sometime next week to decide on the football plan of things. Now let's take it a step further. Say we don't have football season. What does that do for the financial part of the campus life? Let's just not talk about athletics. Let's talk about on the academic side of things.
I mean, I have to go back to the reference Hunter Yurchek, made when he came on, how he stated that, football supplies over 50% of all, income to universities, not alone just the athletics, but the actual operations of university activities. So it's gonna be huge, because I'm pretty sure if you don't have a football season, you don't have an academic student body on campus. I think for them to stop something to that magnitude, they're definitely not gonna let anybody on campus. So again, I think this can really restructure the entire blueprint of how we look at college athletics in college sports going forward.
Will this, the way Arkansas, as far as recruiting, with the virtual visits, the Zoom, is that something that we're going to see on the regular going forward with collegiate athletics? And even more so, I mean, you got to think about, will this be something added off into the business side of
absolutely.
The world once we get back as we know it?
Absolutely. I grew up in Korea, so I come from a technology-based kind of society world, because I've always been so far apart from my family. So that was the way we communicated, through instant message, chat, Skype, a lot of, like I said, just a lot of technology use. And I definitely see it, because even when you look at when you look at not only high school athletics and college athletics, professional athletics, it's starting to become such an international game that you have guys coming from overseas, and that's a lot of the times the only way you can communicate with those guys. So I definitely see it becoming a huge factor in recruiting, just with guys from overseas starting to really come and play the American game. And a lot of these younger kids out of high school that aren't ready for that G League, I think they're going to take kind of that LaMelo Ball approach and seek financial gains as well as playing sports overseas. So again, I think that's the future when you look at communication in general, not just athletics and recruiting, but I think the way we humans communicate is definitely going to increase with technology and Skyping and Zoom and things such as that.
I'll tell you what, let's get a real quick break and let's see if we, there we have him, no break at all. The bird has landed. We have made connections with.
I'm sorry. I was taking an AP test, and
Hey,
we're not allowed to have our phones around us.
yeah, it's about academics before we do anything, and I
Yes, sir.
100% support you. That just goes to show it speaks a lot of volumes. For our new guest, the 2021, I call him a 5-star, so if you're listening to for whatever service you're out there, this man is a 5-star athlete, and he's going to be joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2022 safety, Gentry Williams. G-Dub, welcome to OTH.
Man, how you doing?
Doing real good, Gentry. Recruiting for you is really starting to take off. I mean, you play a position there at the safety spot. And I should say this. Let me check that. I'm going to call this man an athlete. Gentry Williams is an athlete. Talk about the recruiting process, Gentry. First, with the Arkansas offer, how that relationship's going.
The Arkansas offer meant a lot. You know, I've been on campus with both coaching staffs. I like both coaching staffs. Coach Pittman, I love what he's bringing into the program. I love what he's doing. I think he's going to change it around.
When you look at this, with the fact that you were able to make it over with the former staff, Chad Morris, and then come over with the new staff under Sam Pittman, you came over, I believe, with the new Razorback commit in the 2021 class, Quan Parker. KP, you know, how much of a factor will that be, Gentry, in your decision? Because I know when I had KP on yesterday, he said that he's working an angle to have you join him in Fayetteville. How much of a factor will that be?
That's family right there. You know, obviously with him going there and believing and trusting Coach Pittman and what he can do, I mean, obviously that speaks volumes, and I got to be able to listen to him. You know, he's like an older brother to me. And even with Javion Hunt, he texted me right after he committed and was like, you know, join your brothers. You know, so it's just a family atmosphere, and maybe something I definitely want to look at.
Being there in Tulsa, you're not too far from the Power 5 institutions there in Stillwater and Norman. How much in-state pressure have you received to this point, Gentry, to maybe stay and attend one of those schools?
That's where I began the most pressure from. You know, OSU and OU came at me very hard, very early. You know, I'm grateful for the opportunity. But you know, it's a marathon, not a race. So just hopefully at the end of the day, you know, the school perfect for me will come.
Not too far from an SEC school here in Fayetteville, about an hour and a half. You know, how much of a lure of being able to play in the toughest division, or which is the SEC West, some around the country consider, and also the SEC. How big of a temptation is that?
Who wouldn't want to play in the SEC? You know, the best talent, best coaches, best atmosphere, best fans, everything. So it definitely means something to me. You know, it's definitely something that's going to spark my interest down the road.
Now, when I'm there at Booker T in Tulsa, I got my little notepad out. I'm coming to see number 11. What type of football player will I see in Gentry Williams for 4 quarters when I leave that stadium? What am I write on my pad?
You're going to see an electric player who plays to the 4th quarter every single down. You know, you're going to see a hard, relentless player. You know, obviously you're going to walk away and say, you know who the fastest player on the field is.
Now, you tell me you get to be a versatile athlete. You play a little quarterback as well. Are there any schools right now, G-Dub, that's, you know, recruiting you as a, you know, both sides of the ball player?
Some schools are giving me that option. Oklahoma, USC, Iowa State, OSU. OSU actually wants me to play receiver over anything else. But those are just some off the top of my head I can really name.
Talking with 2022 5-star safety Gentry Williams out of Booker T. Washington there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, talk about Sam Carter, the young and up-and-coming defensive backs coach here at the University of Arkansas. What was that feel like when you had a chance to meet Sam for the very first time this last time he came over?
His energy is amazing. Like, you don't get that around college, or I haven't seen that with too many college coaches who bring that type of energy around a program.
Right.
You know, he's young, he brings energy, and he tells the truth. You know, he tell you straight up, I'm not going to lose sleep, you know, if you don't want to come here and you feel like you have a better option. That's you. Like, I want the best for you in general, not the best for me. And you don't hear that from a lot of coaches.
Right.
And so that meant a lot to me personally.
Who are some of the NFL or collegiate defensive backs or athletes in general, Gentry, that you like to pay attention to?
I like just the mentality of Julio Jones. He doesn't really say too much, but he's a straight ball player.
Right.
I like Jalen Ramsey. You know, he backs everything he says up. Just mentalities like that. Like, I like Julio. That's probably the best mentality I like in the game. because you don't really hear him say too much. But when the field steps on, when that tape comes on, you can definitely tell who the best player on the field was.
Talking with Gentry Williams or Booker T. Washington out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, let's have a little fun, my man. You got that list ready? We're riding around T-Town. I'm the OG, and I need to know what's the first 5 songs at Club Gentry that I'm going to be hearing on your playlist.
First, you got to get a little Baby and 42 Doug. We paid. Best song out right now.
Okay.
Then you got to get a little Get Money by Lil Baby. My Turn to Love out right now. Not gonna mention that, but best album out, Gotta get a little Young Boy in the ears,
Okay. 2 more.
Oh yeah. And then who else we gonna ride with? I'll go a little old school for you.
Okay.
Since you're the OG, I'll go a little old school for you. I like a little Tupac. We'll put a little bit in the ears. Can't go wrong with it.
No. 1 more.
We'll do it for the OG. And then what's wrong with Biggie? You got to throw Biggie in there every now and then.
Oh, now you're making me feel good, man. That's the way to, make the OG feel like he riding his style. I'm definitely going to ride with you. And,
yeah.
Well, thank you for taking time out. But I got one last statement I want you to make complete this for me. When football is all over with, you played collegiately, professionally, as you hope to do, and it's all over with, what will Gentry Williams from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Booker T. Washington High School, what will Gentry be doing with the second part of his life after football?
Gentry will be doing, he'll be doing real estate, investing in property in his hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma, giving back what was given to him. Obviously trying to help what I was learning in track and football, but mainly real estate, apartments, houses.
I like that.
That's what Gentry Williams is doing.
Hey, Gentry, they say that the last couple players that's made their way from Booker T to Arkansas, they've had some success. But I'm not tampering. I'm not tampering at all.
Oh, you good?
You got a couple years. Well, hey, Gentry, you have a blessed one, my man. Have a great weekend and an even better junior season. And this ain't going to be the last time that we have G-Dub on the show, right?
No, sir.
All right. Well, hey, man, have a blessed weekend, and thanks for taking time out on the hill with me today.
Yes, sir.
That was Gentry Williams, the 2022 athlete. They call him a safety, Arkansas recruiting mass out of Tulsa, Booker T. Washington High School. Man, this kid's an athlete, dude.
Yeah, I like players that play defensive back and play the quarterback position. They just seem to be, they just have different ball instincts than I see a lot of kids that just only strictly play defensive back.
Well, we're going to go over real quick. Got caught up with John Cooper, Arkansas's tight ends coach. And then following Coach Cooper, we're going to make our way up to Mobile, Alabama, where we caught up with a 5-star and an Auburn commit, but Arkansas's hot on his trail, Lee Hunter. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
There this spring. I look forward to recruiting Central Arkansas. I look forward to getting into Texas too, but I do look forward to getting into Oklahoma and really have a strong presence there. Thanks. The biggest thing, and I was just telling Daniel this, is really the way that he plays. You can tell that he's been well coached, and he's trying to do what he's coached to do. And I think that's a really big thing in recruiting right now. And it's kind of gotten overwhelmed with numbers. And is he 4'4"? Is he 4'5"? Is he 6'4.5"? Is he 6'2.5"? When you look at guys that can take coaching, you look at guys that are trying to do what their coach should do and are playing with confidence because they've paid attention to what their coach should do. And I think that's something he does really well. He comes from a great program. That's had some great players and is going to continue to have great players. And he comes from a good family. And the fact that he, again, just getting to know him a little bit that I did, his passion and love for the state and the University of Arkansas, I think speaks volumes of who he's going to be as a kid and as a player. Sure. There's not as many palm trees, but it's great. And again, like I was talking to Danny, Oklahoma's kind of become home. I grew up in Colorado, but the climate, the culture is similar to the state of Oklahoma. I've known about Arkansas since I was coming out in high school and know the blue blood program that it is. And I've been
back Welcome back. It's our Friday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479, and we'll continue on. I think we lost a connection, but we're going to make a live call back, and we're going to get the big fella on. But we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to introduce him in as well. Arkansas trying to get a little bigger, faster, stronger, and meaner on the defensive line in the SEC because we always say it means a lot more in this conference. So we thought we'd go down and catch up with one of their major prospects for Sam Pittman and Coach Derek LeBlanc. 2021 five-star defensive prospect, Lee Hunter, LH. Welcome to OTH, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk about the recruiting process, Lee. You're right now at the moment committed to the University of Auburn, but that has not stopped major programs, Arkansas in particular. Talk about the offer Arkansas made to you, and how's that relationship going up to this point with the University of Arkansas?
Coach, it was big for me to get an offer from Arkansas because everybody don't have a chance to get an offer from Arkansas. And the university that I had offers from, and Coach Pittman and the D-line coach, I've been building great relationships with them here since they was at Georgia and Kentucky.
Talk about that. How does that help the process? You took a visit unofficially to Lexington when Coach Derek LeBlanc was the D-line coach there, and then he goes to Arkansas, keeps in contact. Same thing with Coach Pittman. You had a prior relationship and had known of Coach Pittman while you were down taking an unofficial at Georgia. But talk about it, how those two came to Arkansas, but they're making you a very high priority. And then with the fact, Lee, Coach LeBlanc had Josh Allen, and just here the last draft, Coach Pittman has 2 first-rounders. Those guys deal with big-time prospects as far as draftees where you want to go NFL-related. How much did you look into that as far as Arkansas goes?
I looked in that bid, Coach. I looked in that bid. It took a big step of why I'm interested in Arkansas.
Now, a lot of schools are coming in. Who are some of the other schools, Lee, that are really continuing to recruit you and show you a lot of love, like they say on social media at this point?
Georgia, Florida State, Florida, Gators, Auburn, Kentucky, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee.
I asked you a question yesterday about the culture of the high school that you're at there in Mobile, Blount High School. Talk about that, and what will you take from that culture to the next level that you can always lean on, Lee?
All hard work and dedication to take you a long way.
Lee, what is it that you're looking for? I know, like I said, you're committed to Auburn at the moment, but what is it, when you go through all the process, do you plan on taking all your official visits before you make that final decision?
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir.
What is it that you're going to be looking for to push one school over all the others?
The relationship with the coach is saying, do I fit with the coach that's going to be coaching me? Do I like what he do? Do I feel like he going to develop me like as a man, like as a good husband?
Now, you just recently have accepted the opportunity to play in the Under Armour All-American game, Lee, to represent your city there in Mobile and really the high school there at Blount. Talk about just the honor and what that's going to be like to be able to play in such a prestigious game representing your home state.
That's big, Coach. That's big. I mean, like everybody, we have a lot of athlete country Mobile that don't get the chance to make it to that game, so that's big, Coach.
Now, when I come to Blount High School, and I'm a scout, I'm looking for Lee Hunter because I got to scout him. What type of football player will I be watching for 4 quarters once that ball is kicked off?
You seen the big 300-pound defense line get off the ball fast, Coach. His first step's quick. Got a good pop.
Now, what do you feel good about when you sat down with your defensive coaches after your junior season, and what were some of those notes that you made, to yourself to say, hey, I got to work on this so I can have a really, really final super season of Alabama high school football my senior year?
Hand speed, quick, better hands, and agility and strength.
Now, I got to have some fun with you. I've talked to kids, and we've had on prospects from Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, everywhere you can think of, and they all say high school football in their state is better. Make a case for the high school football in Alabama for me, Lee.
We got the best talent. If half our athletes ain't choose the street down here, we'll be number one on Billboard.
Now, who are some of the NFL or NCAA defensive linemen that you'd like to pay attention to?
Taylor Starworth, he played for the New Orleans Saints. I watched Neil Farrell. Derek Brown, I watched him and Marlon Land.
Now, let's have a little fun, my man. We're riding around Mobile, you and myself. I'm an OG, you know that. I'm OG. But I need to know, what are the first 5 songs in Club Hunter on the playlist? What are they, Lee? What you going to play for me?
We're finna go to Young Boy, Coach Steph on Stuff, Future, and Young Boy, LaBoosie, and The Baby. The Baby and Young Boy.
Could you tell the listeners, big fella, something that they may not know that you'd like to share with them right now?
What you say? Can you repeat that, Coach?
Could you tell the listeners maybe something that they don't know about Lee Hunter, the big lineman in the 2021 class, that they might not know that you want to share with them?
I think they pretty much know everything about me, Coach. I'm not the type of person that hold it in. I think they pretty much know.
Hey, I know you got some classic stuff you put out on Twitter. Also, I got 2 more questions, Lee. Are you planning on signing early, in that early signing period, or is this something that you want to take all your visits and wait till that first Wednesday in February and sign?
I'm planning on leaving for school in December.
Well, I like that. Now, hey, if it's Arkansas, can we get a commitment from you here on our show if you change your mind at some point?
Yes, sir.
No, I can't be. I'm not tampering. I'm not tampering. So I hope don't nobody get me, because I can't recruit you. But Lee, I want you to thank you for taking time out here, and I'm gonna make a statement. And if you would, big fella, complete the statement for me. When football is done with, when it's all said and done, you played collegiately, professionally, and you've hung up the cleats and the shoulder pads and the helmet, and you're ready to move on with the second phase of your life. What will life be like for Lee Hunter out of Mobile, Alabama, Blount High School afterwards?
I plan on doing news broadcasting on ESPN, and if that don't work out, I want to come back to coach high school football.
I like that. Well, hey, man, this won't be the last time, correct, that you grace our airwaves?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's do a Lee Hunter update throughout the football season. But for now, my man, get a great workout. You have a great senior year, and thanks today for taking time out on the hill, Lee.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's 5-star defensive lineman and soft Auburn commit. I think you can call it soft Auburn commit. Lee Hunter out of Blount High School there in Mobile, Alabama. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. I saw a 300-pound freak is what I saw. What'd you see?
Yeah, just very disruptive. I think he's built for the SEC, and when you look at a typical, that D tackle that you want starting for you, he fits all the checks. He marks off all the checks. So.
Man, when you look at this, Demetrius, we've had on Jalen Weaver, we've had on Rod Orr, we've had on Camron Ball, we've had on Isaiah Cole, Jalen Williams, and now the big fella, Lee Hunter. All these guys possess a different motor. They're agile, big, fast, strong guys that can run sideline to sideline. And like we keep saying, they look like you look in the SEC. It's that thing, recruiting on steroids.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think these coaches are very smart in the type of players that they're going to get. They're not going to get one-dimensional players. And if they do go get one-dimensional players, they're getting players that specialize in what they do. So, I think this team will really be equipped for the SEC in about 2 to 3 years. I think you're going to see a complete SEC team at the University of Arkansas.
He said it. I'm telling you, Sam Pittman said that they were a pretty proud damn state here at the University of Arkansas, and he's very proud to be the head football coach. And he wanted all this on his shoulders. He told us that in the media interview the day he took the job, and he's proven it. The way that this staff has come in here and got the brand out there, not just slightly, but they're out there in the homes that the Alabamas, the Clemsons, Oregons, LSUs, Baylors, Texas, A&Ms. I mean, Auburn's. I mean, they're in the major homes of these young men, and that's just a tribute to the staff that Coach Pittman has been able to put together, and the vision and the realness. I think we've heard a lot of these kids say they're just straight shooters, and I think that's what it's going to take for Arkansas to get back to prominence. It won't be long. I'm just telling you, it won't be long under this staff and the way that they recruit. But we want to give a shout out as we're going to end our segment today by thanking all of our guests. Camron Valdez, the 2021 running back out of Rockdale. I want to thank him for coming on and talking Razorbacks. Secondly, Gentry Williams. He's the 2022 athlete, safety, whatever you want to call him. The boy's a ball player. He's out of Tulsa, Booker T. Washington. And lastly, the big fella, the one that I think Arkansas will be in the mix. He's Auburn committed, but still don't count out the Razorbacks as far as Pittman and Derek LeBlanc are involved. The big one, Lee Hunter, out of Mobile, Alabama, Blount High School. The Under Armour All-American had a lot to say, and we'll watch that one closely. But for my producer, we also want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, as this wouldn't be possible without those guys. Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville and also two in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. And lastly, we had him on the phone. You know the specials. KDK's Chicken. They're down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith and Kathy and get a plate of that love. And like they say, the best chicken and waffles in the South. And then on the building says it's not your mama's. Meet us there or beat us there. That's KDK's Chicken. That's going to do it for myself, for my producer, Demetrius, to you all. Thanks for all of the questions, all of the viewership. We would not be anywhere without you guys, but we'll be back with much, much, much more on Monday. Until then, you guys have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend, and let's get it. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479.